Hello, hello, welcome to another video. And we have some news that's related to Halo. I think it leans good news. I'm sure some people could lean it as bad news, but let's get into it. So, if you did not hear, I'm pretty sure the news dropped Thursday night. To say that the show has been a bit of a disappointment would probably be an understatement. It has not been received well from a lot of the Halo community. Myself, I have issues with it. I understand that it's a complete different timeline, different story, all that kind of stuff. I think that's really stupid. Overall, with this whole thing of the show being canceled and there will not be a season 3, I think this also leans more towards what's going on with Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus isn't necessarily doing the best. Especially in relation to a lot of the other streaming platforms. They seem to be popping out hits, doing all this stuff, having reasons to, subscribe. And I think with getting the Halo show on Paramount Plus, they thought it was going to be one of the big flagship shows of Paramount Plus, which is understandable. If it was done well, if it was done like many of the other video game adaptations, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, I think it definitely could have helped. Could have driven people to get Paramount Plus because it is cheaper than a lot of the other ones as well, just to watch something like the Halo show. I've seen a report that there's other platforms that are potentially looking at buying the rights, I guess it would be, to the Halo TV series. Honestly, if Amazon were to buy it, I would have a lot more hope. And I would assume if that happened, that they might just scrap the first two, like just act as if it didn't happen and restart it. Because again, it felt like a layup for the Halo show, and they decided, no, I want to hit a Hail Mary instead of the layup as time expires. You could either get a layup and win the championship or throw a fucking full court a full court shot at the end of the game and pray to God it lands, and it did not land. But looking at the other video game adaptations, which there's been a lot more recently, and I didn't talk about the Fallout show at all, I'm pretty sure I didn't post any videos about it, but that came out this year, was wonderful. Realistically, it worked out very well. Fallout as a universe, I think, is a lot more open, obviously. Helps in the fact of these people that are good writers, per se, can build a story themselves in this Fallout universe as long as they follow, the main lore. I know some lore felt like it was kind of broken in the series. I don't think it was anything that literally ruined the entire show. It was interesting the whole way through, and the atmosphere of the show felt like Fallout, which goes such a long ways. And then you have other shows like The Last of Us. That show, very linear show, just as linear as probably Halo, maybe even less linear. It's, who knows. You can decide, I guess. But there are certain points that they knew they had to hit in the first season. And while they made some small changes, because let's be honest, video games cannot just transfer from a video game to a show or a movie one for one. It's that there's a reason they're different entertainment. When The Last of Us made the small changes, they knew they had certain things they had to do. They did that. They did those parts really well, and the changes didn't seem like anything crazy. It worked out really well. Even something smaller than the Fallout show, Last of Us, and Halo series, Twisted Metal. This is a much smaller game compared to those other three. I've never played Twisted Metal in my life. I knew it was like a beat 'em up driver kind of thing, like Demolition Derby, but like way more fleshed out than just that. People, when it was first announced, were very taken aback. They did not really see how a series would work with that, and who knew? It worked out. They did a good job. The show is apparently really good. I haven't watched it. I'm interested in watching it, but the fact of reviews and everything like that is relatively well for a more unknown series was just written well. by everything you like, the reviews and everything you see on Twisted Metal. Makes it more like head bang against the wall that the Halo show fucked up so much. I don't understand it. They have so much lore that they could just twist in, like, in a way. I know this is completely different genre and stuff, but with the House of the Dragon right now, but the fact that they're taking basically like a historical book, not a story book, and turning it into a television series, and you know, they have their own writers and everything, making that work. The fact that Halo has so much lore while also having the video games that people know and love at your disposal, and you decide, it never will make sense to me. And instead of just adapting it relatively similar with having like the certain plot points that you know you have to hit, in if you want to start at Reach, the certain Reach stuff that you have to hit, or even Halo 1, the certain things you have to hit, as long as you follow that and then don't break the main lore, it would have done well. Instead, you decide to take the Halo universe, take the name, take even the characters, which I think that is the main issue in like how this ended up turning out. They decided they wanted to tell half of what happens in Halo. I don't even know if half might be even a large overstatement. And the rest, they want to just write their own story, but just jam it into Halo and act as if it's going to work perfectly. And it doesn't at all. It just turns into very generic, shitty sci-fi that is propped up on the back of the universe that is Halo. Like, realistically, if this show is just a random if this was Marines in space, I don't know, generic space sci-fi military name, I don't think anyone would have given a single shit about this if the story was identical. You know, Master Chief isn't Master Chief, but is a different super soldier. Also, I don't think anyone would care at all because it wasn't very good. I think if they did, like, if you did Reach and is the first season, like, the whole thing of Reach, you could have stretched that out to the full first season, adding some lore stuff, like from the books and whatnot, while also adapting parts of the game and doing the main plot points, like seeing the Marines lose Reach over a period of time, like, because in the show it happens and it was like one episode they show, boop, it's over, we have to leave. While the game and everything, there's you go through certain military missions and everything, right? And it just slowly comes through a thing where they realize, fuck, we can't do this, we're screwed, right? And then you can have the Master Chief doing what he was doing, and if you want to have him without his helmet off, or with his helmet off, just don't do it anywhere where he's in some kind of battle or on a battlefield in any way. You know, it just protocol wouldn't make sense. If he's sitting in, you know, a building talking to people and he has it off, sure, right? People will still get pissed off, but it will at least be, like, acceptable. And I think if you wanted to stretch out that in ways, you could even throw, like, Master Chief flashbacks with some of the lore of him as a kid and all this stuff and build that up in some ways just to flesh out why he is how he is now, which I think would do better than what the Master Chief ended up being in the series. And, like, just being honest, there's a reason it got canceled. It wasn't very good. They threw a Hail Mary at the end of season 2 where they just all of a sudden threw the Flood in there, which, I don't know, I liked seeing it. It was pretty cool, but it also felt undeserved because it just happened, you know? I don't know. But that's all I really wanted to rant about today is the Halo show got canceled. Want to talk about that a little bit, give my opinions. If you have yours and what you're hoping for in the future of Halo TV, be sure to leave a comment. Friday's video, I'm thinking I'm going to actually post some college football. We'll see. We'll see. I have yet to play Elden Ring DLC. I'm going to play through it and beat it, and I'm really goddamn excited. Just needed a breather because the game really hits you hard. But that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.